All right, we got to talk about it. I have the iPhone Air, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I've been spending the last few days with the iPhone Air specifically, using it as my main device, trying to do as normal usage as possible. I'm going to do a full review. I want to test the battery for a couple days, but I thought let's talk about it live because it's been out for a little bit and I want to get your guys' thoughts if you have it, and also have a bunch of accessories I want to show off as well because I do have some silicone and tech woven cases and I have some thoughts about the iPhone Air bumper case. So we're going to get into all of that. Let me know if you're watching live. I see the comments already coming in, how it looks, how it sounds. Chat, trying this again, kind of not done a lot of live streams, but I kind of want to do it more. And yeah, this is live, those who are asking. So, hey, Matt Clover, thanks for tuning in. And I think I can show these on screen. Yeah, let's try it. Cool. I just downloaded Ecamm like 15 minutes ago, so let's try it out. And yeah, we're going to talk about on Primary Technology, my tech podcast this Thursday, all about the iPhone Air, 17 Pro Max, and all of that. So I have the 17 Pro Max in silver. I actually haven't set it up yet because I wanted to test the iPhone Air as my main device for at least 3-4 days before I jump to this and do a comparison. But the iPhone Air, listen, the moment you pick it up, like it is clear, this thing is remarkably thin. It is much lighter. And even if it doesn't seem like that right away, the moment you go to actually pick up a Pro Max phone, especially the new 17 Pro Max, which is even thicker than the 16 Pro Max, obviously heavier and very industrial design look. I mean, it's just not as pretty as the iPhone Air, but man, that lightness when you're carrying this around. I took it actually grocery shopping, did a bunch of errands with it yesterday. I'm going to talk about battery life in a second because I've been taking copious notes how battery did the first day and how it's now doing on the second day. But holding this phone, it's just so much nicer than all the bigger phones. I came from a 16 Pro Max, and that's big and heavy, has all the great cameras. And I mean, it's just more enjoyable to hold the iPhone Air. The big caveat is just that camera, speaker, and battery. So, and yeah, like you guys are saying, the silver is nice. I actually like the silver on the 17 Pro Max. I kept seeing the deep blue and the orange. I actually got my wife the orange one. She actually really likes it, and she's using my Ondar green leather case, which we'll talk about in a second. But I'm down for the silver. This two-tone white and silver, it's different. Again, very industrial use, but I think it looks great, especially in some cases. So again, shout out to the chat. Let's see. Brad is saying my wife's getting the Air. The phone is designed for her. Yeah, for sure. Pro Max is chunky. Yes, the Pro Max is definitely chunky. And iPhone Air is the most exciting iPhone since iPhone 10. James, honestly, yeah, the iPhone Air is, I think, I would say the iPhone 10, when I first got that, it was the first Face ID iPhone. It was the OLED screen. The iPhone 10 was incredible. First time you held it and used it. And that is kind of how the iPhone Air is. I've actually been going no case on the iPhone Air because it's so much easier to hold and to use one-handed. I do a lot of one-handed use. Texting while I was in the grocery store, I was using my favorite app, AnyList, for groceries, which, shout out, if you've never used AnyList, I've done it in a bunch of videos, but AnyList is great, and, you can separate different stores, it syncs with the Apple Watch, but I use it one-handed because I'm pushing the car with the other hand, and using the iPhone Air one-handed is so much easier than the Pro Max. It's much lighter, and I'm not as afraid of dropping it. Even using it without a case, and I don't even know if I have Apple Care on it yet because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, but the iPhone Air is just so much nicer to hold, and it's so much easier to hold. So let's see. I'm looking at the chat too. Really reminds me of the X and the 10S. Yeah, same. It really reminds me of that. And now I have to figure out how to hide comments. Okay, here we go. Let me X them out. All right. Let me know if you got the Air and if you came from a Pro or Pro Max. Let me know in the chat what you think. Is the Air and the one camera okay? How's the battery life been? And let me talk about that first, actually, because I know battery life, I mentioned it on social media yesterday and how fast the battery was draining, and a bunch of people were saying well, you have to wait till the next day and things like that. So I totally get it. And just to show you, and this is actually a little behind the scenes on my iPhone Air review and what I might be doing for that. You'll see I have some working titles there. If you guys think any of those titles actually stick out, let me know. But day one of using the iPhone Air, I took it off the charger at 7:30 in the morning. I had some pretty heavy use. I mean, I was editing a reel, I was scrolling social media, checking email, things like that. It went to 10% just 6 hours later, and that was with about 3 or 4 hours of screen on time. Then I put on the MacBook Air battery. And so, I talked about this in an entire video about the MacBook Air battery, or not MacBook Air, the iPhone Air battery. It is the only phone literally that can use this battery effectively. It is nice the way it fits on there, and it does keep the phone relatively thin. This is actually what I used when I was out and about yesterday to keep it charged, because it definitely would have died before I could have finished grocery shopping yesterday. But the iPhone Air battery, it's a great companion for it. It is nice how it's thin. But let me go back to my battery settings here. And I found that, so 10% 6 hours later on the iPhone Air with semi-heavy use, plus it was that first day. A lot of people say it's indexing, things like that, which is true. I put on the Air battery and it charged to 57%, and then it exhausted the battery. So about 10% to 57% while I'm using iPhone Air got me to 57% total. Took the battery off, kept using the phone like I would normally, got down to 20% around 7:10. So that's basically 12 hours later. And then it straight up died at 10:22, actually while I was watching MKBHD's iPhone Air review. So with the Air battery, I did get through a whole day, but again, that was that first day. Now today, I took it off the charger about 7:50 a.m. I was up late editing my AirPods Pro 3 review. That's coming very soon. But so I took it off 100%. It's 7:50 a.m. Now it's 12:07. So we're just a little over 4 hours later, and the battery's at 64%. Now I recorded a quick short with it. I edited using the Instagram Edits app and done some social media. So 64%. It's doing better than yesterday, but it is clearly, again, a thin phone battery. Obviously, physics are a thing. I also find when I'm doing things like editing and Instagram edits or doing a lot of social media, maybe watching a video, it does get pretty warm. And MKBHD mentioned that in his video. Right here under the camera plateau, it definitely gets warm when you're doing certain tasks like that. And you feel it because, your fingers are kind of right there. It just doesn't have the vapor chamber cooling that the Pro Max does or the space that the 16 Pro has. And Anurag was saying, well, what is the point of the Air if we're going to have a battery attached to it? Let's see how the next day of testing goes, because I want to test it for the full day today. I want to give it a third day tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, and then I'll have a final verdict on the battery. Basically, if you're a heavy iPhone user, the Air is maybe not for you, or if you're doing a lot of video and photography, or if you're good just kind of being around chargers, like if you're at your desk and you can charge your phone at your desk, maybe you drive a lot and you're going to charge it in your car, then maybe the iPhone Air would work for you. But definitely the camera is the other issue. And now I haven't done a lot of photography with the iPhone Air just yet, and so I want to take it out and about, do some pictures, see how much I miss the telephoto and ultra-wide lens. But I used those a lot on my 16 Pro, especially when I was doing like concerts and things like that. Yes. Quest Canal was saying total battery anxiety generator. That is kind of accurate. Can we talk about this real quick though? The iPhone Air bumper. While the iPhone Air and holding it, the thinness and lightness is great, this bumper kind of stinks. I do not like the bumper at all. That's because I thought it was going to be kind of a silicone-like material, kind of like Apple's silicone case, and it is much more of a hard plasticky material. Maybe it's bendable, but like this is like hard plastic. This is not silicone feeling. So first of all, getting it on the iPhone is kind of a challenge sometimes. So you got to kind of put the top in first, and then you try and snap in the bottom. And you can see like this is not giving super easily. Once it's on the phone, like it's fine. Again, it's not as rubbery as the silicone cases, which I actually like from Apple, but I would not use the bumper, and I haven't been using the bumper. I mean, if you drop this thing, that camera plateau and the whole back, it's all exposed anyway. So I don't use the bumper. And also taking it out, yeah, Matt Clover was saying the iPhone 4 bumper case was rubbery. That's what I was expecting, kind of that iPhone 4 bumper case, but that's not the case. So anyway, let me take that out. iPhone 4 versus iPhone Air, which had the better bumper. Yeah, Mike in the City, it was 100% the iPhone 4 had the better bumper. I do not like this bumper case for the iPhone Air. So I would not be using this. I would get a full case if you want to do a case with the iPhone Air. But speaking of cases, I did have a bunch here for the 17 Pro Max that I haven't gotten a chance to try yet. I got the tech woven case in blue. I have the 17 Pro Max silicone case, so I figured we could talk about that and try it out on the Pro Max. This is the tech woven case from Apple. This takes the place of fine woven. This is a better material, definitely not as prone to scratches. I showed that in one of my early videos. But yeah, let's try it out. I also have my case from you-know-who, Anker. I have my hunter green leather case for the 17 Pro and Pro Max, or 16 Pro and Pro Max, and I'll kind of show you what happens if you get my case. That's beard.fm/case if you want to get mine. But let me put this in here. So 17 Pro Max with the tech woven. I'm still, I don't know, I went with silver because I wasn't sure about the orange or the deep blue. And I think it's fine. I think the silver looks clean. On video, it does kind of get bright sometimes, like that. You kind of lose some of the detail of it. But it goes with all the different case colors. So here's the blue tech woven. You can kind of hear it right there. Spencer was asking, will you be giving the crossbody strap a shot as well? I had not thought about using the crossbody strap, but if you guys want me to try it out, I'll try it out. I've never used a crossbody strap with a phone. So here's a blue tech woven. Like the fine woven, though, the edges of the tech woven case are also woven, but they kind of have a plasticky feel. Not super plasticky. It is still a finely threaded woven, but I don't know. It's fine. I think it feels a little better than the fine woven, the sides at least. These cases are easier to get off than the iPhone Air bumper. I say that, and now I'm struggling to get it off. I definitely feel the extra thickness of these phones. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Now, this is the... Oh, I just turned it on. I've been avoiding turning it on. This is the iPhone silicone case, iPhone 17 Pro Max, the Apple one. I like getting this for, beach days if I'm going to be out or traveling, sweating, things like that. Feels like regular Apple silicone case. This is the brown, orange. Let's see. This is the, I never know where it says it on the box. What is the color? Anyway, it's brownish. Camera control button, all of that. Yeah, silicone cases always go in and out nicely, which I appreciate. And one of the cool things is you can actually change your home screen to match the case if you use one of Apple's MagSafe cases. So there's the silicone with the silver 17 Pro Max. But even now, this is like... Oh, man, this thing is so heavy. I just want to go back to holding the iPhone Air. And so I'm going to have to see, maybe it'll take a week going back and forth, which I actually prefer to do. Sigmund, I appreciate you watching the live. And yeah, I'm back and forth between the two as well. The weight, the weight and thinness is a big deal. So, let me show you real quick the Anker leather case, which you can get for the 17 Pro Max, because if you order it from my link, you actually get a little welcome message from me. So here's the Anker hunter green leather case. You get a little note. That's me. That's my signature. I wrote that, and I sent it to them. Picture of me with the case and a little note there. And so, yeah, you get all that. This is the hunter green real leather case. I do have a bunch of leather cases I'm going to be reviewing. I do that every year, try to get the best leather cases around and see which is really the best. I'm going to be a little partial this year of the Anker hunter green, but come on, look at that. Hunter green. If you did go with the orange and you want that Michelangelo Ninja Turtles look, hunter green from Anker is the way to go. Beard.fm/case will take you right to it. I also have a bunch of other cases. I haven't even opened these yet because I've just had tons of packages coming in the last couple of days. Everything's falling on me. This is what happens when you do a live. Mark was saying, I always find the silicone cases wear poorly. If you drop some silicone cases, it doesn't go well. Those silicone cases, they get chipped easily and chunks get taken out. I use mine just occasionally because, yeah, just for like beach days and things like that. Mark was saying, just ordered the normal Nomad traditional case. Yeah, and this looks so good. Does the leather patina? Oh, this is a great question because I've been using the Anker hunter green case with my 16 Pro Max. We're about to unbox all those leather cases in a second. Here's my iPhone 16 Pro Max with the Anker hunter green. You do say I use MagSafe all the time, so that's why you see that ring. But here's what a patina looks like on the hunter green compared to the fresh out the box hunter green on the 17 Pro Max. It gets a little darker, obviously, with the patina. But yeah, there you go. Desert Titanium, 16 Pro Max, and 17 Pro Max here on the left. I'm looking forward to trying out the 17 Pro Max. I actually haven't used it, but man, the thing is heavy, especially compared to this guy. I just got to say, look how thin that is. Anyway, all right, so let's go some other cases here. I ordered the Nomad. This is the traditional leather case. I always try Nomad every year. The one thing about the Nomad and some of these other leather cases is the camera ring has this black plastic ring around the camera mesa. And so this is wrapped leather on the sides. I really appreciate that. Some, like the modern Nomad leather case, it's kind of like a black plastic on the edges, and I don't like that. This has leather wrapped sides, which is nice, and the metal camera ring. But anyway, that's the Nomad traditional leather case. I'm going to be trying that out. Again, get subscribed because I'll be doing a full leather case review with all of these. Another one, this is always my favorite leather case as far as like the leather smell and the real leatherness. And this is the Ryan London one. Oh, here's an iPhone Air leather case. I didn't even know they sent this to me. Wait a minute. This is the iPhone Air Ryan London real leather case. Hold on, I got to do the sniff test real quick. Yeah, when it comes to leather smell, Ryan London is one of the best. Just throwing that out there. All right, so here's an iPhone Air leather case. Look at this. I didn't even know I could try this live on air. Here we go. Live on air. Hold on. Live on air? Come on. All right, anyway. All right, here we go. So here's a leather case on the iPhone Air. Now this might be a problem. Every time I pick up this phone, I have to ask myself, am I going to use this as my main phone for the next year? Because I'm not going to switch between them. I'm not going to switch SIM cards, especially with eSIM. It's kind of a pain in the neck. But anyway, Ryan London leather case on the iPhone Air, still super light, more grip, open bottom. Oh, shoot. That just might have made all of this way more difficult. I'm going to be real with you guys. Yeah, the Air case looks very cool. That is accurate. I feel that. That looks really good. All right, so that's the Air leather case. And let's go, I don't even know what's in this one. Let's see. We have a Pro Max. There we go. Here's the Pro Max Ryan London leather case. Again, leather wrap sides, camera ring. Again, it's very similar to the Nomad leather case. Where did I even put that? Somewhere around here. Put it back in the box. Similar to the Nomad leather case. Let me actually get it out so I can show you the color differences. Well, I've already lost it. I've somehow lost it amongst all the things on the desk here. Oh, this is it, right? Oh, just kidding. Here's the Nomad on the right, Ryan London on the left. And again, Ryan London has been my go-to leather case for a long time. How does the leather hold up against scratches? That's a great question, Rob. I mean, I've used leather cases pretty much full time over the last several years. And the nice thing about leather is if it does get scratched, you can kind of just rub it and it will kind of get those scratches out. I'll actually show you kind of in real time. So this is the Hunter Green leather case from my iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I've been using for the past several months. You know, there's little scratches here and there. There's been some deeper scratches over time. But a lot of times I'll just kind of rub it a little bit and those scratches will fade. And over time, they fade even more with the patina and oils on your hand. So that's the nice thing. I mean, if you're looking for a durable case, I actually find leather will hold up better long term because it kind of has that healing factor, we'll say. But let's go with the Ryan London 16 Pro Max case. Now I actually have to find that phone. Oh, here we go. So here's the 17 Pro Max, excuse me. Try to get this case off. And here's the Ryan London one. This is the, I'm not sure if they call it the saddle brown or what, but here's the Ryan London leather case on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Always love the look of this. Metal buttons everywhere, camera control. Everybody's got camera control buttons this year. You don't have to worry about cutouts and things like that. But if you do see a cutout, don't get it because cutouts for the camera button are not good. So there's 17 Pro Max and the iPhone Air in the Ryan London leather cases. Those are some good looks. Just throwing that out there. I'll open two more real quick. We got a Keyway and a Decoded. With an Ondor, let me do a couple questions here. Kiki 3000. Hey, Steven. Hi. Hey, Kiki. Thanks for joining. And let's see. Nomad cases have always held up incredibly well in the past. Ondar. Spencer, I'll say I've had Ondar for the past several years. I use technically T's colors. He has a blue and a red, which are really cool. I've used their cactus leather and their others, and the Ondars hold up really well. And one other question from Spencer. Would an Ondar Nomad case work as a beach case for those who don't want to switch cases constantly? It works. I just live in Florida, and humidity is like 1,000%. And so the leather just gets a little tacky in the humidity. It's fine when you get back from the beach. So if you don't want to switch cases out, that's fine. You don't have to do that. But that's just kind of what I do. So here's a Keyway. I've liked Keyway the last couple years. They have this, you can get it with or without the X, but I like their case design. They also comes with a bunch of stickers here. What is this? Apple stopped doing stickers. Keyway started doing stickers. We got some X stickers. Is this some kind of pirate flag? Okay, I like it. There's some, those are the stickers from Keyway. 49er Media. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Thank you. All right, so here's the Keyway case. This is not good, guys. This is a little unfortunate because Keyway in the past, I should have grabbed all my 16 leather cases that are in a closet, and I probably need to do a giveaway to actually give those away. I give them to friends and family, but they don't upgrade very fast, so I don't have a lot of friends and family with 16s. While I try to take this case off, hey Stephen, I'm seriously considering the 17 Pro. Can you tell me in real time approximately how long the battery life is per day? I got to be honest, Magnificent Productions, I've not tried and tested the 17 Pro Max yet. I'm really focusing on the iPhone Air first. So get subscribed. I'm going to try and get a video out hopefully by early next week, but I want to give it time because there's a lot of indexing that happens. Your phone is like doing stuff with photos and mail in the background, and it's really hard to get this case off, I'll tell you that. It's hard to judge that battery just in the first one day or two. Ethan was saying, I think we need more Stephen live sessions. If you guys like live sessions, please tell me. Tell me in the chat, comment on this video. I'll love to do more live. Does it sound good too? I'm using my setup when I record videos, but let me know how it sounds because I don't know how it sounds. I'm on this side. Anyway, this Keyway leather case, this is a little unfortunate. It's leather here on the back, but they've now gone with like this rubbery side and then plastic camera ring. Now, Keyway does a bunch of different like designs with artists, so if you want to get an actual art on the back. But these are, yeah, this is not great. I want the leather wrapped on the side and around the camera ring ideally, so that's unfortunate with the Keyway leather case. I'll try these all and do more of a full-on, in-depth leather case roundup very soon. And let's see, Jeff, how do these hold up compared to the one Apple had? I actually find that the Ondar, Ryan London, and Nomad leather cases hold up really well over time. You're going to get little scratches and stuff like that, just wear and tear. But again, it's patina. You can rub a lot of them out and all of that. Sound is fantastic. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Just really asking because I don't know. Oh, thanks for subscribing for a long time, too. Appreciate that. Sound is amazing. Sound is amazing. Coming at you in spatial audio. No, not really. It's just mono. All right. Yeah. So Zero Lord, that's a good. I'm actually going to do a shortcut in a second because there's been a shortcut going around that Snazzy Lab shared, and I wanted to do a slightly different one. I already shared it on social media, but I'm going to build a shortcut on the iPhone Air in just a second, and I want to do more live shortcut sessions. So get subscribed. I think I'm going to do one. I don't know if I could do one tomorrow, but I want to do one later this week. And if you didn't know, I actually have a shortcuts community, create.beard.fm. That link is in the description below. But I'm thinking about doing live streamed shortcut building, like from scratch, really walking it through step by step, and building your shortcuts requests in a live stream in my community, like for the paid members. So doing a free shortcuts live stream every week and then maybe a second one that's paid. So I'm trying to figure out how to make that membership even more beneficial for people who join the community. So I'm going to do some lives for everybody publicly, and I think I'm going to do some also for members of the community. So let me know. Let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. All right, last leather case here. This is the decoded leather case. Like the decoded ones, they usually have a different design than a lot of other leather case makers, and I'm seeing some. Bullstrap did this, and I do have a Bullstrap case coming. It was delayed in shipping, but I got a Bullstrap to try too because they're typically a popular leather brand. This is the decoded leather case, and they actually did this thing where they actually covered the camera bump or the camera mesa. Jose was asking, are the tech woven buttons clicky? That's a good question. Let me, hold on. I gotta get this leather case off. Oh man. Gah. If anybody, hold on, let me go full screen so if anybody wants to make a GIF of this, because getting this leather case off is tough. I'll get to the tech woven in a second. I gotta get this. This is the Ryan London one. Yeah. Wow. That's serious. That's serious. Anyway, okay, so I got that off. All right. Tech woven. Where'd that go? I got to work on my my organization of putting all the cases where they need to go during live streams because now I don't know where anything is. Where did it go? hold on. Everything's falling. Everything, there's so much off screen, you guys have no idea. But anyway, the buttons are clicky. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not sure where the tech woven case went. Did I put it back in here? Hold on. 2 seconds. This is, wait, did I already open this? Hold on. Okay, here's the, oh, the case is not in there. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. I got it. Okay. All right. Tech woven case. Clickiness. Let's try it. It's easier to get them out of the tech woven case, so let's try this. All right, here's the tech woven. Made a little sound. They're nice and click. They're solid. They're responsive. Actually, they don't feel like as deep clicks as some of the leather cases, like the Ondar and the Ryan London. I wonder if the buttons are a little more shallow. Like if you compare, here's the Ryan London leather case. Like just look at the volume buttons. They look similar, but the Ryan London ones are actually, they feel a little more clicky. Also the Ondar ones. So I would say if you're looking for maximum clickiness, the tech woven, they feel a little shallow to me. Actually, the silicone ones felt a little more clicky, but anyway, that's what I mean by clicky, Rob. Hopefully that define. I don't know. You probably heard something fall. Anyway, all right, last one. This is the decoded leather case. Then I want to build a shortcut real quick. So decoded. This is leather with a. This is kind of, I think this is metal, covering the camera plateau. The best case I've found for the 17 Pro ESR silicone case with the built-in stand. ESR makes some great stuff. Spoiler, when you watch my AirPods Pro 3 review, notice how I said when and not if. I actually talk about these ESR AirPods Pro 3 cases. So yeah, those are some great ones. But here's the decoded. So if you're looking for a case that kind of disguises the camera plateau on the 17 Pro and Pro Max, decoded makes a leather case, camera control button, action button, all of that. And this is, yeah, interesting. I think I like that look, maybe. Kind of has a masked Marauder look, maybe a Zorro-esque feeling. So if you want your iPhone to kind of look like that. Yeah, interesting. Ben's saying, I've been super happy with the Smartish Grip Monk. I'll be honest, Ben, had not heard of that brand. I've never heard of that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see, 26.0.1 can't come soon enough. My battery is suffering on the 16 Pro. I will say again, you know, with all of that battery indexing, when you just upgrade to a software, give it a few days, maybe even give it like close to a week, because it's doing a lot of stuff in the background, especially if you have like Apple Intelligence and stuff. And okay, I got it. But yeah, I like that look. Yeah, Zero Lore was saying I like that look. I do like that look with the kind of covering the camera mesa. But anyway, let me show you a couple shortcuts real quick, because I've been seeing Snazzy Lab, Quinn Nelson, he did a shortcut that was really cool. And so I won't copy his shortcut. You definitely should go to his X account. He shared it there. He got a ton of views and stuff. Here, let me make a nice little framing here. And you know, and let's just put it all here. Let's put it all here. There we go. All right, so the shortcut I want to show you guys is actually using an action called Get Current App. And actually the developer of Water Llama and Mind Llama, if you're familiar with them, he wanted a shortcut that opened the current app in the App Store, whichever app you are looking at. So, of course, it's not here for some reason, because that's just how it goes. Let me pull it from, where can I get it? You know what, let's just build it live. Let's just do it. This way you guys can kind of see the whole process. So here I am in the Shortcuts app, and let's say I wanted to do that. I want to, whenever I'm in an app, be able to click the action button or run it from Control Center and open that app in the App Store. This is especially helpful like for updates, because a lot of updates, they're waiting for days, and with iOS 26 there's been lots of updates to apps. So let's build a shortcut. So I'm going to hit the plus icon, and the first thing I'm going to look for is current app. This is an action that you can use, and there's lots of use cases for that, especially if you compare it with if statements. So it's going to get to the current app that's on screen. Now the next thing we're going to do is search the App Store for the current app. So if you search for App Store in the settings here, or in the shortcuts actions, find App Store app. Now, right here, you need to connect the Get Current app and the Find app. So I'm going to tap here, and then I'm going to choose Current app. But here's where shortcuts get interesting, because there is, what app do you want to find on the App Store? Well, I'm going to tap and hold on that current app, or excuse me, just tap it once. And now here at the bottom, you'll see all the different details that you can pull from the current app and send it to the App Store search. So is the app running? Is it hidden? Is it foremost? But the one I'm actually going to use here is Bundle Identifier. That's a technical term. If you develop iPhone apps, that makes a lot more sense. But a bundle identifier is going to be more accurate to the current app on screen, and more than like the name of the app. Because if you have the name of an app just called Maps, well, you could get Google Maps, you could get Apple Maps, all of that. So we're going to find that app in the App Store, whatever the current app is. And then we're going to search again for App Store. And this is what it looks like to build Shortcut Live. So let me know if you want more live shortcuts like this. So we're going to get details of App Store app. And you see it automatically chose the action before it. And I'm going to choose the get. And I want to get the store URL. The store URL is then going to send us to that app directly in the App Store. So get App Store URL from that App Store app. And then we just need one more action, open URL. And that's going to open that App Store URL that we are searching for. So let's name this. Let's do the Open Current App Store. It's not perfect English, but we'll just go with that. So Open Current App Store. And I'm going to change the icon here for you guys because I'm going to share the link in a second after we make sure it works. And you can try it out yourself. And if I search for App Store, look, we can even get the nice little app. So Open Current App Store. Now let's actually map this to the action button. This way we can run it quickly and we can see if it actually works on some multiple apps. So, and this is iPhone Air, by the way, iPhone Air with the Ryan London case. It's pretty nice. Let me go down to action button and let me go over to shortcut, choose a shortcut. Let's search for the one we just made, Open App. Let's see. See, sometimes these shortcuts, Open Current App Store. There we go. So there's the shortcut we just made. Now, let's say, where are we going to go? Let's go back to Bear. This is Bear Notes, my Bear Note of choice. Now, when I click the action button, it should get the information of this app, including its URL. Oh, great. It didn't do it. We have to make sure. Let me go back. Open Store URL. See, this is why the live stream on shortcuts is curious whether or not it's actually going to work. Oh, I'm going to put this down to get one item. Let me see if that actually, I think that's what I did last time. Let's try this again. Is it going to work? No. See, this is one of the things. Let me do a quick view. Let me see what it's actually returning. This is what I do when I'm troubleshooting shortcuts. I'll throw a quick view action in there just to see what's actually happening. It wasn't past anything. Okay. Let's see. Get current app, right? Find bundle identifier on the App Store. Get store URL. Oh, maybe that was not. Let's see. App Store apps. Man, let's try that. I feel like I did this before. Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Get store URL. Let's try to simplify this even more. Let's go with bundle identifier. So get store URL from, okay, let's try that. Let's see what it returns. Okay, now I got to find the one I built before because it worked before, and this is driving me nuts because it was working just fine, and I don't remember how I did it. So let me add this shortcut URL and download the one I made before, and this is, yeah, we'll do that. Let me add it to my iPhone Air review. Let's see. I'm using PasteBot to search my past pastes and find the shortcut. Is that the one? Let's see. All right, now I gotta wait for Bear to sync. This is showing how fast Bear can sync in real time. Look at that. Is this the shortcut? No, that's not it either. Hold on one second. Talk amongst yourselves for just a moment. Let me know if you want more shortcuts live streams like this where I literally troubleshoot things live. Okay, get that out of here. Let's try again. And All right. Bare Note Syncs. Was this it? All right, here we go. This was the one I was using. How did I set this up differently? Let's see. Get current app, find bundle identifier on the App Store, get store URL, open store URL. I feel like that's exactly what I did. Open app and App Store. But, okay, well, let's try it again. Let me go back to action. Let me say, this is the joy of shortcuts. You got to be cool with tinkering because sometimes, let's try it again. Here's Bear. Let me do the action button. Now it's not working. Okay, let me try with a different app real quick. Let's go with Food Noms. Run it. Wow. I thought we were going to be cool and do this live on air, but it's not working. Oh, my word. All right, well, get current app. Let me try get visible app. Let's see if that actually works. Sometimes shortcuts is weird like that. Nope, still not. No URL specified. Matthew Casanelli, if you're out there, if you're watching, let me know. Listen, usually the shortcuts go a little more smooth. Anyway, that's not great. That's not great English. Anyway, I don't know what's up with it. It was working before. Let's see if I just run this in shortcuts. Allow. Well, it worked for shortcuts. What in the world? Yes, live on air. I keep making that pun unintentionally. So it worked when I'm just looking at the shortcuts app. I can run it. There you go. Open the shortcuts app. Wait a minute. Let's try Bear again. Do this. For some reason, it's not getting the bear one. Let me try one other one. Let's try Ivory. Let's see if that works. Run the shortcut. That one works for Ivory. I don't know why it's being inconsistent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's try another one. Let's try YouTube. Let me run it. Oh, now it opens the App Store directly to YouTube. It's working. Reboot your phone. Yeah, Mr. Noble, you might be right. Well, now it's working. So here you go. I'll send you all guys the link. You could see if it's maybe it's me, but now it's working. I can open it and it goes to the App Store. I'll show you one other one. Let's see. Yeah, no, we'll do it live. The Bill O'Reilly thing. Good call. All right, well, there's that shortcut. I put it in the chat if you want to try it out. And it seems to be inconsistent. I don't know if that's a user error, meaning me, error building it or not. But let's see. Let me go down to some of my shortcuts requests because I've been building shortcuts. Just to give you guys behind the scenes, I have these bare notes that I keep track of all the shortcuts that you guys request, whether it's in the comments on YouTube and from the community. Of course, I do the priority requests from the community first. But yeah, I've been building these shortcuts and I keep track of them. And once I have about a dozen or more, then I make the shortcut video. And so these are all kind of the shortcuts that I'm working on right now. That's part 27 of shortcuts. And I also, let me go to my video notes here. I also have an Apple Intelligence part 2 shortcuts that, yeah, people are asking for things like, read the summary of an article after it summarizes it from Apple Intelligence. People are asking for that sports schedule. So anyway, any last minute shortcuts request? Let me do a live shortcuts request. Anybody that's watching, if you're still watching live, thank you for still being here. That's awesome. But let me know, what's a shortcut I should build? I've been trying to build a shortcut to toggle auto mix. So Mark, this is a tough problem. And yeah, boom, it finally worked. So the URL schemes is how you access settings from shortcuts. So basically, like someone asked recently, you used to be able to clear your Safari history from a shortcut using a URL. And so let me see if I can find the Safari history one. So this one right here, I get that conflict error every time. Here's a shortcut. It's a simple, this could actually be one action, just open this URL. But this is the URL scheme for opening things like app in settings. So if I run this, it'll actually go to my Safari settings directly here, and then you can scroll down and clear history. So you can't really do that, like you can't toggle auto mix directly from a shortcut, but what you can do is create a little shortcut that goes directly to the music settings. So let's try this. I don't know exactly what the path is, but let's just try it. If it's music, let's see if it'll open that URL. Yeah, it actually went directly to music. So there you go. And then you can go down. Now, sometimes you can go deeper in these like settings menu by using that like ands and stuff like that. So let me see if I can actually go back. And let's see, this is called song transitions. I don't have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. So we're going to change Safari to music because we know that works. And then we're going to change path. And let's go with song. Is that, I think, all caps, song _ transitions. Sometimes it's this simple where you just kind of put whatever menu you're trying to get to. But let's see. If I run this, it did not send me directly to those transition menu. And that's the thing about URL schemes. Sometimes it can't bring you all the way into that. Sometimes the name of that menu is different. Oh, I haven't been showing the right camera. My bad. Anyway, so this is, so you can see that URL right there. I tried the music and then song transitions as the path. But when you run it, it still just sends you to the main music settings. Yeah. Zero was saying, we can only see your camera. Yeah, that's, that's the live thing. Oh, you have to put some meat out to defrost. Anyway, so the song transitions, again, I would have to see if there's a URL that I can actually use to open this settings pane, but stay tuned, get subscribed. I'll try to do that for the next shortcuts video. If you just want this to be able to get to the music settings, let me rename this. Open music settings. And this will at least get you there, and you can, hopefully toggle it off. How you like that? Misspelled there. Hello, Frederick. Thanks for joining. If you're just joining now, there's a whole live stream where I talked about iPhone Air, 17 Pro Max. We're all the way into now a shortcuts live stream. It just kind of morphed into that. So if you want to watch all of that, go ahead and scrub back. I'm going to keep this up for on demand. Let's see. Here is that shortcut. So if you want the music settings, there's there you go. Now, here's one more shortcuts request. A shortcut that makes the iPhone speak a good morning in Tim Cook's voice after you get any notification. Technically, you could do something like use 11 Labs to train it on Tim Cook's voice and then create an audio file that you play in shortcuts. You could do all that. But yeah, you could then set your message tone to that. I'll tell you what, let's create a shortcut real quick. Obviously, I can't do it in Tim Cook's voice right now, but I'm going to create a voice memo. And so here, you can do this too. You can create a voice memo. I'm just going to go to the voice memo app. Good morning. That was my best Tim Cook impression. So I just recorded that in voice memos. I would show it on screen, but it uses your address by default as the title to every new voice memo. I don't understand. I mean, I guess it has to have something as the title, but I don't know, maybe something a little less doxing. Anyway, all right, so let me trim this. This is my good morning. Let me play this, see how it sounds. Good morning. There we go. So that's my good morning voice, a little audio message. So let's pretend that was Tim Cook. And maybe I'll even, I'll put this short, well, I would need to send you the file too. All right, so here's my good morning file. I'm going to now save it to my files app. I'm going to share it, save to files. Let's put this on my desktop in files, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. Got the file in my desktop. Let's go back to shortcuts and let's build this out. So one, you can just do play sound, and we can choose play sound here. That's an action just built into shortcuts. And for the sound, we can choose a sound file, and let's see, you can't choose it directly from there. So I'll tell you what we can do is you use the file action first. I'll put the file action first. Let's choose the file that we just saved, which was the good morning audio file. All I did was create a voice memo, shared it to files, so it's there. And now it's going to play that sound file when the shortcut runs. So, good morning. Let's try that again. Good morning. There you go. So, and I see some people talking about the shortcut. Yeah, if you use name in that last shortcut we were doing, open in the App Store, it'll work, but sometimes it'll mix up like Apple Maps and Google Maps. So if you open Google Maps and run the shortcut with just the name chosen, it might open Apple Maps in the You know what I'm trying to say, in the App Store. All right, so play. Let's see. This is, we'll just call this the Tim Cook Good Morning, because I'm going to do an automation real quick with this sound. Tim Cook Good Morning. Yes, shortcuts are still buggy, even in iOS 26, the main release. That's my Tim Cook Good Morning. Now, here's the fun thing you can do with little audio things like that, the play sound. I'm going to create an automation that when I plug my iPhone Air into a charger, so when it's connected, I want this to run immediately. Don't notify me when this runs. Now I can just search for that shortcut. I'll choose the Tim Cook Good Morning shortcut. And now, when I attach my phone to a charger, it should play that automatically. Let's see it. I'm going to see if it'll do it just with the battery. Plug it in. We should see the shortcut run shortly in the background. Maybe. Sometimes the automations take a second. Maybe it's not reading that because it's not a quote-unquote charger. Let me plug it in with an actual cable. All right, plug it into a USB-C. Good morning. There you go. That was pretty quick. So take it out and plug it back in. Good morning. That runs pretty fast. I think that actually runs faster on iOS 26, some of those automations. So you can do fun stuff like that with audio files, saving it to the Files app, and then playing that sound. This is also pretty fun if you want to do a practical joke with someone on like CarPlay or when they connect to their car. You can do when a phone connects to CarPlay here or just connects to a Bluetooth device, which could be a car as well. JB, shortcuts will never be mainstream with all the complexity. I get it. Shortcuts can be complicated at times, but sometimes a shortcut will have enough wide appeal that it can reach the mainstream population. And I'm going to give you a prime example. I did a shortcut about how to save real recipes on Instagram. So here's my Instagram right here, @StephenRobles. You should totally follow it. I've had a couple reels go viral, and so I've gained a few thousand followers just in the last couple of days. But I did two shortcuts. One is the stolen iPhone shortcut, which I might talk about in a long form video. But the other one is this real recipe to notes. And so it's got over almost 300,000 views. But the reason why is because when you run the shortcut, it uses Apple Intelligence, and it will pull a recipe that someone's left in the caption of Instagram and create a note with the recipe and the steps automatically. And this kind of blew up. A lot of people have been asking for it. As you can see, it's been a pretty popular reel. And just to show you kind of how it works, so I have a bare notes folder here with a bunch of recipes, and all these recipes were saved from Instagram using that shortcut. So let me go down to something like this. This is, let me do some more ingredients. Here's a pumpkin pancakes. Now here's the actual reel. So here's the reel on Instagram. And I'll see this reel. I'll check, is the recipe actually in the caption? Cool. Now I can hit the share button, share to, and I'm going to run my shortcut. I actually use Apple Intelligence in this shortcut, and it's going to send it to Bear. And this is what this does actually is takes the URL, gets the contents, and then it will format the contents of the raw HTML into a nicely formatted note, steps and ingredients, and it's going to create a bare note with it. Now, of course, this has worked solidly. Oh, there we go. I was like, the one time I do it live. Usually it's faster than that, but here it is. It just created this note in Bear. AI, Apple Intelligence, titles the note up here. And so I know what the recipe was. It lists the ingredients. I even added in my prompt to convert anything that might be in metric to imperial measurements and things like that. And then it has the steps down here. And it includes a link back to the raw Instagram reel. This also works with TikTok, and it just works on regular websites when you run into a recipe. And so I've been saving recipes with that shortcut. Works very consistently, especially now with Apple Intelligence. And I talked about that in my last video, but I'll send the link here as well. And it's actually been working really well. So I'll send the one that I use. I don't know if you guys want Apple Notes or Bear. I'll do both. Here's the Apple Notes one. You can see the prompt in the shortcut if you download it, but I'll put it here in the link. So here's my AI recipe to Apple Notes. There's the link. And if you want it to Bear, that's still what I use. I'll copy that link and I'll send that to the chat as well. So this is the AI recipe to Bear notes. Sweet. Does it also work with Pinterest? That's a great question. You know what? The way I designed it, it should work with pretty much anything that can be a raw HTML. So let me try it. Here's a Pinterest high protein recipe, and we're going to try this live and see if it actually works. High protein recipes. Another question here. Is there a way for a shortcut to select text? I'd like to be able to double back tap and have it proofread in writing tools. So you can run a shortcut like that from the share menu, but there's not a way for it to automatically select specific text on screen. It can pull all the text on screen, but that might not be what you're looking for. So, but let me know. Jeff said, how do I become a member? I should have put this link in the chat this whole time. I don't know what I was doing. You can go to, let me type this link here. You just got to spam text here. Go to create.beer.fm. If you become a member there, I have my Shortcuts GPT. I have a Shortcut of the Week. You get access to all of that when you become a paid member. And I'm going to do more live streams like this, all about shortcuts. All right, so here's some Pinterest recipes. Let's try it. Here's some overnight oats. Oh my goodness, it really wants me to download the app. Google's yelling at me with this pop-up. That's just how it goes. Let me read this recipe. So it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, does Pinterest just send you out to the web for these recipes, or are there actually recipes on Pinterest itself? I honestly don't know. But for like this one, like this is a long recipe, talks a lot about things. Let's just try it. Let's run my shortcut here. I'm going to do my AI recipe to Bear, always allow. And basically, if it's a website or if it has a URL, it should work, no problem. So I'm going to give it a couple seconds. Apple Intelligence is going to parse that HTML, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, look at that. There we go. Got the overnight oats, got the ingredients, got the steps, and it even includes the link back to that website article. So if you're basically on Pinterest browsing those articles, those recipes, and you see one you like, run the shortcut, and you can be able to save them there as well. Side note, I'm liking this Ryan London leather case for the iPhone Air. Very thin and a little more grippy. Feels good. All right, you guys have been awesome. Thank you guys for tuning into a live last minute. Kind of just announced this, I think, 15 minutes before I actually went live. But let me know if you want me to do more of these, especially focused on shortcuts. I'll plan a little bit to build the shortcuts that you guys have been requesting, especially from the community. And we'll do a live stream here on the channel publicly, and maybe do some private live streams for members in the community. But get subscribed. My iPhone Air review is going to be coming soon. My AirPods Pro review is going to be out any moment, if not the latest tomorrow. And then I'll have my iPhone Air and 17 Pro Max reviews and all of that. A bunch of iOS 26 videos are on the channel. Top 10 features you should try first. I got 100 plus features of iOS 26 and did a full review of that as well. I'll also be doing my leather case review video coming very soon too. So thank you guys for tuning in. This has been great. And yeah, we'll catch you next time we do a live stream. I will do more. People are saying this was fun. This was really fun. Yes, do more. I'll do it. Thank you guys. This is really cool. I'll have to bring a beverage next time. A coffee, I mean. It'll be even more high energy. All right, very cool, guys. I'll catch you next time.